we are. Studio class. Let's see who's on. I see 4 in the queue. Are we going to the right place? Yes. Great. Hello. Hello, Laura. And maybe hello, Emily. Great. All right. Well, tonight, hello, Caitlin. Good to see you. And we got 4 in. Great. So tonight we are going to do a warm-up routine. So this is something really important that I'd like to show everyone so we have kind of a consistent approach. The warming up is a really important part of playing. We often skip it. We often go straight to the rehearsal and just start blowing away on the flute. And it's really important to warm up our bodies and warm up the air in particular. So we're going to do just that. So first thing you want to do is make some space in the room because we're actually going to do a little workout routine. So if you want to stand up, find some space. And I use an app called Sworkit. And what's cool about Sworkit is that you can make your own routines. So I have some for flute, I have some for nighttime, things like that. I have the one I use the most is called Quick Flute Stretch, and this kind of is a top-down stretch for upper body so that we don't hurt our necks and shoulders and wrists and arms. So this is a 3-minute deal. So let's just go right at it.
Welcome back.
So this first one is the abdominal stretch. So you can follow me, you can follow the picture, and each stretch we're gonna do 30 seconds. Abdominal stretch. Begin. And sometimes I like to add a little side to side on this one, kind of if there's any tension in your hips. But just keep your wrists up, and this is a very important stretch too for your fingers as well. You can see
3,
this helps relieve
2,
some of the tension that might
1.
be in your fingers.
Overhead
All right, next
arm
one, overhead arm pull. So this one we grab the elbow behind you. Looks like this. And change sides. So other arm
Begin.
above. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1.
Neck stretch.
And neck stretch. Very important one for flute. You can either pull your head to one side, or what I like to do actually is to push against, so kind of a isometrics, or let's say counter motion. It releases this side as well. So change sides. So you can pull and stretch here, or you can push against and it actually releases this side too.
3, 2,
Do both.
1. Arm and shoulder stretch.
All right, arm and shoulder stretch. Hello, Emily. You can join us with the stretches. This is a very important one for this muscle. It's very tense. Feel some extra tension in your neck. You can also turn side to side here and change sides. You can kind of turn your head here. It also can act as another neck stretch. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Side bend right.
Side bend. So side bend to the right. Open up the hips. Take a few deep breaths. Three, two, one. And side bend left. Didn't think you were going to do an exercise class, but here we are. It's all the rage now. Online exercise classes. And three, two, one. And congrats!
Congrats, you
We finished! We burned 20 calories in 3 minutes! So, if you care about that, it's a cool part of the app too. They have a little calorie thing. All right, great. So, you should be feeling a little bit more refreshed. I like to do these. It doesn't take that long. 3 minutes is really not very long. And I feel just incredibly better most of the time when I do these. I feel a huge difference just in my body, my circulation, and it makes me ready to play. So grab your flutes. And I start every practice routine actually with the overtones. Some kind of long held thing will do besides overtones, but since I'm a big fan of the overtones, I like to do those. And what it does is that when you hold the position a while, it helps you just get your balance and your stability. And then long held notes help you smooth out your breath and increase the capacity. So let's do just a simple version of the overtones and try these. You've all been playing these overtones for a while now. I want you to try them from memory. So don't look at the music. Just try to breathe and relax. We're going to play just a simple version where we play the root, octave, fifth, octave, and then back down. So let me demonstrate first. So let's start on D. So we'll start on an easy note. Let me just demonstrate first. So the root, octave, the fifth, and 2 octaves. And we'll hold the top a little longer. Then we go back down. Then back down to the fifth. Next octave. And then the root where we started. Sometimes it's nice to do the overtones without looking at them so you can practice just hearing and listening and, again, warming up your body and your mind for this without the distraction of even having to get the music out. This is also great for ensemble warm-up and things like that where you don't want to be messing with extra pages. You can just do real simple up and down. So let's do it on D together. We'll go up and hold, then we'll take a breath, and then we're at the top again and go back down. So here we go. On D. Good breath. And challenge yourself on the last note. See how long you can hold it. That's another warm-up tactic as well. Seeing how you can sort of push the limits of your air, how far you can stretch your air. Let's try the same thing, 1/2 step higher now on E flat. So we'll just add the pinky and do the same thing on E flat. So here we go. Ready? And good breath. play longer than me. Great, let's go up another half step now to E natural. Same thing. Ready, good breath. Good breath. Same thing on F. Here we go. Good breath. Ready. Good breath. All right, so here's the challenge, the goal and the challenge. To make D through F your absolute most comfortable, best playing ever. D through F is the most used range on the flute, right? If we went up to F sharp, it gets a little bit harder. It gets a little more special project-y. And same if we go below D, if we start working with the foot joint, that's a little more special project, a little more challenge. So I like to start with just D through F because it's the most used, easiest part of the flute. And if you can make those really good, then when you start doing what I call the special projects, which are above and below, it becomes easier. Rather than trying to learn it all the low notes, all the high notes, all the medium notes, all at the same time, you learn these most used range, we could say, of the flute. All right, so after I do a little bit of overtones, I always do scales every day. And I usually start scales slurred. It just gets my air going, gets my fingers moving. I don't have to worry about coordinating my tongue or anything else. So let's do just that. Let's do some slow, slurred scales. I usually do just a couple of these every day, at least 2, slow and slurred, to start off my day. So let's pick one that I know all of you know. Let's do F, which is 1 flat. And let's do it about 60 to the quarter note. So 60 is the speed of a second. Da, 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 da. Maybe that's a little faster than a second. Maybe more like 72. 2 octaves. So 2 octaves, F scale, slurred, and try to find relaxation, comfort, ease. F is a very well used scale and finger configuration. So again, we're using the most used range. So here we go, F scale. Ready, go. And the goal is comfort and ease, not speed. You should always have comfort and ease be your number one agenda. So you should start there in your warm-up and do just even a little tiny bit. Like tonight, we're just going to do a few scales. Do these comfortably. Then when you go to play faster, you can build the ease into your faster playing. So let's try now G major, 1 sharp, because I feel like we should balance our sharps and flats tonight. G major, and same speed. So there we go, take a good breath. Ready? try something fun with that scale. This time I'm going to start and I want all of you to wait 2 notes to come in. So I'm going to play G, A, and when I get to B, then I want you to start on G. So I won't get to hear this, just you'll get to hear it, but we're going to play it in a round. This is how a round works. So wait 2 notes and then come in, and you'll be playing a third away from me. So usually this is really fun to do in person because we all get to hear it, but only you will get to enjoy it this time. So I'll play, then you come in. Everybody got the idea? Okay, here we go. Let's try it. So come in after 2 notes. Same scale. Ready, go. Did it work? Only you will know, unless somebody chimes in the chat. Okay, so I start in what I call the medium range, most used range, and then from there I work on usually something that's in a higher range and usually something in a lower range. So let's do something that uses the foot joint now that I've got the main, part of the flute warmed up, I've got my lips warmed up, everything's warmed up, my body. Let's try C major. So we'll be using, if you have a C foot, you're going to hold down the first 2 bars. I have one more key because I have a B foot. You can see I have an extra key on my flute down there. So we'll play C major, no sharps, no flats. And this is where we'll warm up all the way down to the foot joint. So let's try a tiny bit faster on this one. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Great, now let's do a scale that goes up higher into more the 3rd octave, or the more challenging range of the flute in terms of air and in terms of fingers. Let's do the B flat scale. Many of you have been kind of trying to master the B flat scale, especially the top part of it. And before we play it, let's just take a look at the top 4 notes, starting from high F. So just I'm going to show you the fingering and I want you to find it on your flute. So high F, take a look at your flute and then you can look at my fingers. And then high G, no thumb, that's your high G. High A is this kind of split fingering, the thumb is down. A, and then leave your thumb down, and then we're going to push this first trill key and take the left hand off except for the thumb. So the thumb is down, there's your high B flat. Let's do those 4 fingerings again. So F, and then G, A, thumb is down, and then high B flat. Let's go down from B flat now. So high B flat, thumb is down, A, G, and back to F. So, you can rewind this video, which is awesome, right? Or you can mark it in YouTube and just practice those fingerings if you're struggling with those. Just practice the high F to B flat. Just taking a look at the fingerings as you do it. Really solidify it even before you go to the trouble to blow all that air and play a super high note. Make sure you're comfortable with the fingerings. And you can follow along, play back the things we just did in the video. Do that a little bit every day. You'll have these fingerings in a couple of days just from doing that. All right, let's play the B flat scale now. And do your best if you're still trying to master up high. Do your best to try to find those. We'll take it the same speed we took the low C scale. So here we go. B flat major. Ready, go. Was it beautiful? That's the idea too. We want to make our playing beautiful and feel good. All right, the final thing I do in my warm-up is I warm up my tongue. And you have to remember that tonguing is actually rooted in air. The tongue, ta-ta-ta-ta, doesn't do anything, right? I can go, actually I do some percussion if you've heard any of my other pieces. You can do that, but it doesn't play a note. It's not until you blow air. You have to blow air and tongue at the same time to get a note to be articulated. So let's work with the chromatic scale. This is every note on the flute in order by half step. And this might be new to some of you, I'm not sure. So if it is, bear with me. Let's try it on D. So chromatic scale, if I play every note that's possible in order on the flute. And I can teach you more in your lessons. If some of you, I haven't heard your chromatic scale yet, so this might be new, which is cool. So what we're going to do on this one, we're going to do what I call the ha-ha-ha articulation. It's actually no tongue. It's a bit of an air warm-up that gets tonguing ready. So you just play, it's like with no tongue. So let's just play one per note like that with the ha-ha-ha articulation. So each note just gets one ha. Here we go. Sorry, I forgot to tell you one octave for now on the D chromatic scale. Let's do it one more time. One octave on the D scale on ha. Then I like to add my tongue to it. So let's do something where it gets the tongue a little more active. I don't just do single tongue. I like to get it doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's try just saying T, 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 2 per note with our tongue. So it'll be. So kind of get the tongue muscle activated. We really have to activate it on flute to get it to do what we want. So T, 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 2 per note. One octave, chromatic scale, D to D with doubles. So here we go. Ready, go. great. And then, there's more complex things you can do with that. All right, let's see how far behind I am. All right, just a few seconds. I'm watching what you're watching over here. Yeah, so that's it for the warm-up stuff. And I can't impress enough how important this is. I've been tempted many times throughout my flute career to skip this and be like, just go straight to the music. I feel good, warm up. And it must be because I'm getting old. But seriously, if I skip my warm up, I am sore the next day. So there's something about just warming up your muscles, getting them ready. I just don't skip it anymore because it's like clockwork. I'll have either a wrist pain or a neck pain if I skip this really basic stuff. It doesn't seem like it does much, right? You're like, a little slurred scales, some overtones. But the more I do this, the more it makes me ready to go and keeps me from getting injured, which is the most important thing. So, does anybody have any questions? I'll wait another second. Or things they want me to clarify. Hello, Leanne. Glad you can make it. All right, great. Well, I'll see you in your lessons on Thursday this week. And happy warming up. And if you have questions, we can go over it in your lesson then. So, see everybody later.